These zombies had the speed of the ensemble. Carries the world's most powerful. The dead man didn't drop the plane. It's even made into a staircase. Dead bodies through the wall 50 m high. How specific is it? Let's watch the movie together. The news reports that, with the Earth's environment getting worse all over the world, there's a series of disturbing events going on. Dolphin carcasses are lying all over the beach. Deadly monkey flu. The end of humanity is approaching. Jerry is a United Nations investigator, currently working as a housewife at home. Finished breakfast, my whole family. I was walking on the road when I met a traffic jam. The helicopter flew down, broadcast on radio announcements. The world is exploding. The disease has not been confirmed. As of now, more than 12 countries have been infected. Suddenly the building in the back exploded. Then a truck lost control, straight into the traffic jam. No one knows what's going on. To survive, people run wild. Jerry plays the role of a driver. The old man drove his family away. The result is still an accident. I can only leave the car. In the blink of an eye, everyone's frantically running outside. Then those who pursue them are bloodthirsty zombies. They're very fast and they don't feel any pain. Hearing with an extremely fast sense of smell. The right bitten person will turn into a zombie after 12 seconds. Soon the army of the undead rushed like bees breaking their necks. The encirclement policy of the human 7 completely defeated. The whole city is overrun with zombies. In the chaos, Jerry found a car. Take your wife and children to the suburbs. I was so scared. So the older daughter's asthma recurred. Just comforted my daughter's mood. Jerry gets a call from Thierry's old boss. Let me know that an hour later, there will be a helicopter to pick them up. Thierry doesn't come from subordinate interest. It's that Jerry's very good at what he does. The situation in front of me depends on you. Fortunately, my daughter found a gun in the car. In times of crisis, we can't sit around while waiting to die. Rescue. Jerry has something important to do. It's finding asthma medication for girls. So I drove to the supermarket. How important are doomsday supplies? It's not about that anymore. People are pushing their carts outside. Wife Carrie takes her little daughter to get food. Jerry and his older daughter go to the pharmacy, but it was taken over by a young man. Fortunately, the enemy is not boxes of medicine. This is when the little girl screamed. 2 men are stealing from Take Carrick. Jerry wasn't going to shoot. Suspect the enemy to act first. So you're not welcome. Based on excellent workmanship, you shot down the enemy. I saw the police coming. Jerry accidentally raised 2 hands. If you think you're being ignored, the police have to steal your food. When I left the supermarket, the car was stolen. Jerry's family fled to a nearby apartment complex. But it's not alone. The rescue helicopter will arrive an hour later. It's almost morning at the earliest. At first they were going to the roof. I can't believe the dead are standing on the stairs. We ended up in the house of a Mexican family. On the 7th floor, the family is very enthusiastic. Jerry hoped they could leave with him. You have a chance to survive, but the enemy rejected their good intentions. At dawn Jerry got up to prepare. Can recognize. You have the qualities of a true warrior. To save bullets. He tied a dagger in front of the barrel, then wrapped the magazine on your arm. The whole family went up to the roof. The roar of the undead fluttered in my ears. That means this road isn't easy. In the corner of the stairs the undead appeared. Jerry stands in front of killing the undead looking to protect the two. But Jerry alone can't beat the crowd. The zombies not only run fast but many. Jerry was carelessly pushed over. Just in time for danger, the dead are shot in the head. The shooter is not someone else. It's you. Toma is the oldest son of a Mexican family. Jerry's family hasn't been gone long. The dead came to their door. Even though there's a heavy object blocking the door. But Toma's parents didn't make it. After addressing the risk, Jerry's family took Toma upstairs. The rescue helicopter is now in position. But Jerry's standing on the edge of the roof. The mouth is constantly counting down. It's while fighting the undead. They're bloodshot in the face. I still don't know the route of infection. Jerry was worried he would turn into a zombie. Fortunately, 12 seconds have passed and you are safe. If you have symptoms, you'll jump. His family and Tomas in the helicopter. The dead body in the back is not letting go. The sight of a chase. Then the helicopter landed on a US Navy warship. Thierry told them there's water on all sides. This place is safe now. The president is dead and the vice president is missing. The provisional government's main base was on a warship in the 6th world. The number of infected people is increasing. Every minute countries fall apart, more and more terrifying. It's that no one knows what type of withdrawal this is. Dr. Android, he's a Harvard University dropout. You just need to find the source of the virus. We will study vaccines. 11 days ago, South Korean military base sent an email that this is a zombie virus. As soon as this word came out, everything came out. To investigate the origin 6 the captain decided to let Jerry follow. A US Navy squadron. Android escorts to Korea investigation. But Jerry didn't want to take the mission. Family is the most important now. Invited wine not to drink. I want to drink and punish the captain. Everyone on the boat is helpful. There's no place for the selfish and the predatory. For the safety of Jerry's family, he agreed. Before we start, give your wife a satellite phone. Just get your phone. Prove you're safe. On board Android extremely confident with this job. I can't stop sports. Excellent in-depth knowledge. Even though Jerry didn't understand, he nodded in agreement. At night the plane landed at a South Korean military base. There are no survivors in this place. I can only hear the sound of the undead. Android only knows books. When you see the real dead, you're scared. Run back to the plane. But due to the rain, the slippery road unfortunately fell. Gun results on the body. Robbing leads to killing yourself. It hasn't started yet. It's over. It's bad luck. Fortunately, everyone was hiding in the base. The captain of the Navy said that the first person to discover the zombie was a medic. At that time, he's in charge of examining the body of a soldier. As a result, the soldier immediately turned into a bitten zombie. And since then, the entire base has become undead. So far no one knows where that soldier came from. Before they turned into zombies, they were exposed to AIs. Later people burned all the zombies. The material was also burned. So there's nothing to investigate. Then Jerry met Detective Kia for smuggling weapons to North Korea. That was taken to prison. The detective told Jerry that only Israel is the safest country in the world. 5 years ago, Israel began building the high wall. When the epidemic breaks out, high wall protection plus a nationwide blockade, the undead are completely quarantined outside. This great career has to do with one person. Jordan heard about it. Jerry decided to go to the Israeli capital Jerusalem, but the problem is they have to fuel the plane. A fully equipped crew waiting to depart. To reduce the noise, Jerry and 2 others are cycling to find gas. Others are in charge of the shelters. Everything is according to plan. I can't believe Carrie is calling right now. The sound of the phone has woken up the zombies around. Despite filling up successfully, but apart from Jerry, everyone else was killed. We flew one last night to Jerusalem. Jerry meets Julian. I wonder. At SAO, he predicted the epidemic that builds defense against Sogan. Of course I don't know how to watch. Then he learned the existence of the undead is by intercepting Indian intelligence. Israeli officials did not believe it. But they have a theory, the 10th. When the person in front of you has the same opinion, the 10th person has to give a different opinion. Jordan is clearly the 10th. So when people don't believe zombies exist, you think there really exists. He also asked the Israeli government to build a wall from many years ago, proof that you were right. Behind the wall, it's not just Israelis living there. There are also refugees from other countries. In the eyes of Jordan, if we save one more person, the world will be one less zombie. To investigate the source of Jerry is going to India. Turtle. The doctor advised me to give up this dangerous because India is a black hole. Inside the wall, people live in peace. But sometimes it's a bad thing to have too much fun. Everyone excited CA singing dancing. Hold the mic and start singing karaoke. Everybody sing together. I don't want to see the zombies outside the walls. The dead hear the noise. They quickly gather. In the blink of an eye, has built a staircase of corpses. They're like pieces of meat jumping off the wall. Risk to come. The people who were having fun suddenly became scattered. A helicopter fired at the people, but it doesn't penetrate. Just look at the zombies, like the tide coming. Logan, get in the armored car and leave. At the same time, the female soldiers Jerry are to protected. The relay point. While running, Jerry spotted something unusual. It's an old man in the middle of the dead. Was ignored again. That is Ladanya. I thought it was just a coincidence. But next here, a young man as thin as a stick of wood. I thought I would die in the hands of the undead. They see everyone as air. Look out for the thin, sick not man. Even the dead. The gunfire, the firecrackers echoed but endlessly. In front of the dead. That's a waste of ammunition. Even the rescue helicopter was dragged down by Jerusalem the zombies. Completely collapsed, pouring while Segan escorted Jerry. Unfortunately, she was bitten. Jerry immediately took the knife and cut off her arm. Then stopped. A passenger plane quickly left there, but only a small part of them escaped. The rest turned into zombies or disintegrate under a bomb. On the plane, Jerry helped Segan handle wounds. But the incredible scenes just now, endlessly in my head. Jerry rushed to contact Thierry. Tell him to get in touch with the research center, near CA Dip Airport. The passengers on the plane are falling asleep. A dog suddenly barked. The flight attendant sat down and the dog ran away. Right after that, the flight attendant was attacked by a corpse in the toilet. Then this person landed for that person. Jerry's cabin is now safe. I assured everyone to be quiet. At the same time, push the luggage but to block the door. Accidents still happen. The sound of the suitcase falling. Make the zombies in the next compartment pay attention. The door was immediately pushed out. People running out of track. I can only make a miserable scream. This is a bit like Busan. While thousands of pounds of hair, Jerry makes a decision. It's throwing grenades at the zombies. Plane cracking RA in two. Both humans and zombies are sucked out. The plane also had to make an emergency landing. When the plane landed, people who don't matter die. Even though Jerry is alive, but his stomach was hit by a piece of iron. Fortunately, Segan is still alive. They both went to the research center. When he got to the door, Jerry couldn't stand it. After losing contact with Jerry, he is on board. Captain thinks you must be dead. Not say a word. Get your wife and kids off the ship. Take them to a refugee camp on land. Compared to the battleship, it's a lot more dangerous. 3 days later Jerry woke up. The first thing is to call your wife. Satellite phones are in Thierry's hands. I see there is a phone. He's amazing. Jerry knows about his wife and children. It almost collapsed. The researcher told me. Everyone here understands how you feel. They also lost their most loved ones. At least Jerry has. I hope you're here because you want to study RA. Early vaccines to save more lives. Jerry was more excited to hear these words. He gave his guess to the research staff. Zombies only attack healthy people. From an evolutionary perspective, healthy host is beneficial for transmission of withdrawal. To think in reverse is to find a solution. If this helps people disguise themselves as, you don't need to fight and still win. This word from Jerry, it opened the door to a new world of research. The female researcher expressed. The natural world has such a situation. Hungry predators will not eat sick prey. I want to test this assumption. The method is very simple. There's smallpox virus in the medicine room. It only takes one person to experiment. Then you can face the zombies. But we've got to solve a tough problem first. There's more than 80 zombies around the pharmacy. It's quite difficult to get 6 out. Such a dangerous task is still to be done. Jerry has seen the courage to stand by him. There is also a researcher, willing to sacrifice for science, an axe, a gun, and a baseball bat. 3 people on the way. Because there's no sound impacting the zombies it seems to be in a deep sleep, slow action, but there are 3 who are careless. The researcher accidentally stepped on an empty can. See this scene? The people in Tim's surveillance room. Like I want to jump out. Fortunately, the zombies are a part of them. Experience this time. 3 people are more careful. I can't even breathe hard. But no matter how careful you are, it will also make noise. When the undead hear the noise, they move a little bit to be safe. When you're walking through an open room, you're skipping genes. The dead didn't find you. Cow researcher follow behind. In the end everyone is safe. But eating harm is still eating harm. Researcher staggers VA to iron cabinet. It makes a loud noise. Not as lucky this time as before. Segan had to shoot a zombie. The gunshot quickly caused a chain reaction. The dead are all awakened. Jerry uses noise to distract the undead. Take your time. Put Segan in the medicine room. Get the original 6 withdrawn. I thought there were some zombies at the door. I saw them coming. You two just go back. The sound of footsteps caught the undead's attention. A bunch of zombies chasing behind. The people in the surveillance room panicked. They gave up the plan. Open to Segan and researchers. Stay with Jerry. Right now, you rely on your agility to snatch the tail of the undead. 1 or 2 of them were killed by him. Because 2 of my teammates have lured the undead away. Jerry gets into the medicine room and take a container of the original 6 drawn. As we were leaving, the zombie doctor barged at the door. There are many zombies in the back. Before the researcher reminded Jerry. Before the disaster happened, the doctor was the first to receive the sample, then start researching. Unfortunately, there are no results have been bitten by a zombie. Before we start, they told me not to kill the doctor. Even if the doctor has now turned into a zombie, I kept my promise to the researchers. Jerry regressive man. Finally, he injected 6 into himself. AI doesn't know if it works or not. Jerry planned for the worst. I wrote the last words for my family. Then hold it up in front of the camera. Stay strong in the face of what happens next. A few minutes later Jerry pulled out the 6 case and opened the door. The reaction of the undead. That's enough to prove Jerry's theory right. The guy in the surveillance room couldn't believe his eyes. After discovering the undead ignored Jerry happily drinks a can of beer, then deliberately make a noise to wake up the undead. Jerry is like a stealthy man, through the undead. Go back to the monitoring room and see everyone. Look at the red spots on Jerry's face. The virus in you must be smallpox. The mortality rate of this type 6 withdrawal is up to 25%. Fortunately, humans have developed vaccines. At the end of the movie, Jerry reunited with his wife and children. Also based on your experience. Research into a vaccine. Mixed 6 withdraw meningitis with smallpox. After the bulk production has dropped down all over the world. There's this camouflage human, not only to avoid the attack of the undead, but they're also conducting large-scale extermination. Their bodies became mountains. It turns into dust under a burning fire. What about the origin of the 6? No one knows yet. Try to guess. World War Z movie is coming to an end. The movie's question: do you like zombie movies? If so, press 1 or 2. Thank you for your interest. Follow. Hello and see you later.